From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Melanie Armstrong.
Among Delaware's top stories for Thursday, April 17th, executions are still on hold in Delaware despite a Supreme Court decision. Senator Biden gets a challenger. And who's supposed to fix broken sidewalks in Wilmington? And now the details. The Supreme Court has ruled that lethal injection is constitutional, but that doesn't mean executions will resume in Delaware anytime soon. Executions are still on hold while a class action suit by Delaware inmates is pending. The court ruled on a Kentucky case, and the Delaware lawsuit is virtually the same. Representatives of the State Department of Justice plan to meet with U.S. District Judge Sue Robinson to discuss the effect of the Supreme Court's decision on Delaware's injunction. The last execution in Delaware was in 2005. Saying he's running on hope, opportunity, and change, a Seaford business owner throws his hat in the ring for U.S. Senate. WDEL's Carl Konevsky has the story.
Using the old State House as the backdrop for the Dover portion of his three-county announcement, Republican Tim Smith announced his candidacy to challenge Democratic incumbent Senator Biden. Smith says after so many years in Washington, Biden can't represent the change people in Delaware want to see.
I'm running because Washington is broken, and we need to fix it. Delaware families are struggling financially, and Congress wants to burden us with one of the largest tax increases in our nation's history. Delaware families are struggling with the burden of higher health care costs, and Senator Biden won't do enough to fix it.
Smith says his business background will be an asset in working to enact policies to spur the economy, and he'll seek input from Delaware's working families to best respond to their needs.
Spending and fiscal accountability are out of control in Washington. We are literally leaving generations of debt to our children and grandchildren. They may be the first generation to go backward in standard of living in first time in American history.
Reporting from Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Who is responsible for fixing broken sidewalks in the city, you or the city? A committee's trying to figure that out. WDEL's Erica Guidetti reports.
The city is trying to create an emergency sidewalk repair plan to fix sidewalks that may cause harm or injury to people on the streets. City Chief of Staff Bill Montgomery says the L&I department would decide what sidewalks are in disrepair and must be fixed. He added that the logistics are still being debated because the city code says the homeowners are responsible for fixing the sidewalks, while the city charter says the city is responsible. Reporting from Wilmington, I'm Erica Guidetti, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Still ahead, protecting firefighters from losing auto insurance. WDEL News continues in a moment.
The best place to buy your new floor is at your local Carpet One store, where we offer true flooring expertise, from a great selection of famous name floors to guaranteed installation. That's something you won't find at those big warehouses, internet sites, or traveling carpet shops. And with our 1,000 store buying power, we offer you the best warranties and the best values in flooring. Carpet One, the one store for your perfect floor.
You're the one, you're the one.
Delaware's Insurance Commissioner Matt Denn says it's outrageous that auto insurers can drop firefighters from their policies just because they drive their cars to fire scenes. So he's proposing legislation to protect emergency personnel. Denn found out about it when a Georgetown volunteer firefighter told him he was dumped as a high risk.
What this legislation would do would be to prevent auto insurance companies from penalizing volunteer firefighters and other emergency responders for what they do. If someone has an accident or otherwise does something that should affect their insurance rates, then that's a different story.
Den says because fire and ambulance companies sacrifice their time and safety for the rest of us, it's important to protect them. A woman has been charged with intentionally abusing an elderly man in her care. County police say more charges are pending against 46-year-old Luana Gray, who lives near Arden, after the 82-year-old man died over the weekend. The man was taken to the hospital in February with a temperature of just 87 degrees. He also had sores and was severely dehydrated. Lawmakers act on legislation designed to restore your confidence in the General Assembly. WDEL's legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky reports.
The legislation heard in committee calls for things like providing continuing training for legislators and having House and Senate rules reviewed by the National Conference of State Legislatures. House Majority Leader and Committee Chair Dick Cathcart, who sponsored another bill making it illegal for a lawmaker to influence the hiring process on behalf of a relative, says he's happy to move the bills along if the people want them.
In the public perception is reality, and especially when it deals with politicians in the legislature. So, I think some of the things that we're addressing, quite frankly, were not necessarily major problems, but the perception of the public was that it was major problems.
House Minority Leader Bob Gilligan says he supports a bill calling for lawmakers to disclose if a family member holds a state position, but says family ties aren't always enough to land a job.
In order to be hired as a teacher, you have to have a degree from college, you have to be certified in the area that you're teaching, and so it's a complicated process, and you just don't get hired because you happen to be the relative of a legislator.
All four pieces now go to the full House. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A former Phil comes back to haunt his old team. WDEL Sports and AccuWeather are coming up.
Wilmington University now offers the Doctor of Business Administration program. This advanced degree is designed to enhance leadership and managerial skills. Applications for fall semester are being accepted now, so visit us at wilmu.edu/business or call 877-967-5464. Wilmington University, your life, your time, your education.
I'm Peter MacArthur.
I'm Melanie Armstrong, and here are Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour.
The most complete coverage of the news that matters in Delaware. Every weekday morning, 5:30 till 9 on 1150 AM WDEL.
In WDEL Sports, Michael Bourne came back to haunt his old team with a solo home run, helping the Houston Astros to edge the Phils 2-1. Bourne was dealt to the Astros in the offseason in the deal for Brad Lidge. His home run broke a 1-1 tie in the fifth, helping Roy Oswalt pick up his first win of the season. The rubber match of the three-game series is this afternoon with Brett Myers on the mound against Brandon Backey. Our coverage on WDEL starts at 12:30. The Blue Rocks rallied 3 times, and it paid off as they downed the Kinston Indians 6-5 in 10 innings. Left fielder Jared Dyson capped off the win with a 2-out RBI single that knocked in the winning run in the bottom of the 10th, capping a 3-run inning. The Blue Rocks' running game helped. They stole a season-high 6 bases yesterday, giving them 35 on the season. The Blue Rocks, who took 2 of the 3 from the Indians, hit the road for a 7-game road trip. First up are the Potomac Nationals, who have won 10 in a row. The Sixers wrapped up their regular season with a 115-109 loss to the Charlotte Bobcats. Jason Richardson led Charlotte with 29 points. Willie Green led the Sixers with 27. The Sixers, who were hot a couple of weeks ago, are stumbling into the playoffs. They've lost their last 4 and 7 of their last 10. They open up their first-round playoff series Sunday at Detroit. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: sunny and warm today, the high 74. Clear tonight, the low 47. Tomorrow, sunny, the high 80. And Saturday, sunshine and clouds, the high 76. Get news updates throughout the day, Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM. And get WDEL News text alerts sent to your cell phone. Sign up at WDEL.com. I'm Melanie Armstrong. Thanks for watching.